Bullying is in the spotlight again following the tragedy around Lufuno Mavunga's suicide. And experts say bullies are often victims themselves. Let's discuss the signs to look out for if your child is a bully and how you can actually help them. We're chatting with psychologist Professor Ramodungoane Tabane. Prof, a very good morning. Thanks so much for your time. And we've had the discussions about how to identify if your child is a victim of bullying. But I think it's equally important to understand what makes a child a bully. And often parents may be in denial when they're told that your child is a bully, your child is doing this to someone else. When a parent hears that, what is the sort of first step? What is the first thing that they should do with that information?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me. Indeed, there is no parent who would like to hear negative and bad things said about their children, especially about a typical issue like bullying, because we all know that it brings all negative thoughts and negative emotions when a person is being called or you are told that your child is a bully. So the first instinct as a parent, yes, indeed, they will definitely try to defend, protect their own children who are bullies. However, indeed, the fact that there is a bully, it means that somebody is being bullied, and the fact that it's brought to you as a parent, it's something that you need to take note of. You need to ask pertinent questions in terms of what is it that you think my child makes, or what is that my child is doing in school with your children when they play that makes you think that it's a bully. And the parents will tell you that the experiences of their own children with your child. They will explain things like he takes their things. They will explain things that he forces himself or herself on them in terms of thoughts, in terms of behavior, or any other action. So gather as much information as possible around experiences of other people around your child.
Well, often these parents may not have access to someone like you who may be able to guide them. So in dealing with this in their home now, once they have this information, what is the conversation they need to have with that child? How do they approach their own child about this and their behavior?
A simple but yet difficult conversation that most parents are afraid of entertaining with their children. What is wrong? What is it that I can help you with? What is happening within your circles, within your life that makes you to want to always to be right? What is happening so that I can help you? Why is it that when your sister, when your brother says no, they have to say 2-3 times before you stop? What is it that is happening around you that makes you think that another person's raising of a voice in objection to what you are doing is good for your own ego? What's happening so that I can help you as a parent? But these are difficult questions because of it can open a kind of worm that a parent might not be ready to deal with.
Yeah, and also, especially if a parent might have to hear that, you know, something is actually happening in the home that has affected this particular child to make them behave in that way. In your experience, Prof, how often is it that the bully is actually a victim of bullying themselves? How often is it also that this kind of behavior is a result of something that is happening in the home that the parents are unaware of, or that their own behavior is perpetuating this kind of behavior in their child?
I'll say between 60-65% of children who are bullies, they are experiencing it firsthand at home, in one way or the other, either from parents, a parent, or from siblings. And somehow they find a need for them to have this adequacy exerted somewhere else, or receiving it somewhere else, because of wherever they are, their primary care, primary home, they might not be getting it.
And how do we help these children? I mean, a lot of them, like we say, are victims of something else has influenced behavior. And then, of course, there may just be children who are just bad children. It happens. You just get those who just want to take something out on somebody else. But how do we help them? Because these are those, we can't just cut them off from society. What is the rehabilitation process that can happen within the home, especially if somebody doesn't have access, again, like I say, to someone like you who can maybe guide them along?
Well, let's correct the first part. Indeed, there are other biological or chemical dispositions that can make a child to become a bully. There are also issues of mental health that make a child become a bully. It's not necessarily only in terms of the environment, but also it can be because of the way they are wired or the makeup. It is always important to always have a system of support around you and be able to communicate and talk to other people. It can be a pastor at your church. It can be the life orientation educator, your life skills orientation educator. We used to call them guidance educators. Those are a major source of support for parents in rural or in remote areas where they might not have the services of a psychologist. They form part of what we call school-based support team, where they work with a district psychologist and they can easily assist and help you with a child with behavioral problems. We must remember that it is a village that raises this child. So it does not help for you to die alone with this problem that you're having.
All right, Professor, thanks so much. And I think that's very, very useful information, especially for those who have no access to help or professional help as well. Professor Ramodungoane Tabane there, just what to do when your child is actually the bully.